Welcome back to the Forensic Detailing channel, guys. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Today I'm very excited because we're about to use the new Bilt Hamber Phat Neut, which is a multi-mode rinseless wash. So a rinseless wash with lots of different modes or functions. Right now we're going to be using this as a wheel cleaner, which is something I do not do with rinseless washes. And these wheels are poorly maintained. They're actually not in bad nick. There's no curbing on this one. They're really dirty, especially in the barrel. You probably can't see so well. So if I just grab a little torch, there, please be working. Yay. You can see the barrels are caked, man. You can see this is pretty, yeah, it's just an alloy wheel. It's dirty, that unprotected, and all that sort of stuff. Now, Phat Neut has some complexity around its dilution ratios. Let's go into the light. And we've just done a video to go through and explain how you use it for rinseless washing, pre-washing, and ad hoc wiping of bird poo and dust and, insects. But it can be used as a wheel cleaner at 1 to 10. Now, it says up here about this dry mode, an optional mode where the product is intentionally allowed to dry in the particulate dirt film, which substantially enhances cleaning power. Treat wheels and other highly dirty surfaces or panels at the first stage in the wash cycle, so you can even pre-wash it and leave it to dry while working elsewhere, which is normally a faux pas with chemicals. So down here as well, you mix it out at 1 to 10 for this in a pump sprayer or trigger, right? So I'll spray it on, allow it to dry, fully engaged, dry on, and then preferably pressure rinse it, okay? At that point, you're removing the chemical. So I've just got a little bit of question about this, but anyway, so in here, I've got 100 ml of product to a litre of water, okay? And I'm not using DI water. It's preferable, but it's tap water because that's generally what I tend to do. Because, yeah, but with cleaning stuff, maybe if I'm mixing out quick detailer, maybe if I'm mixing out some rinseless as a quick detailer, maybe. But generally with a cleaning product, I'll use tap water. So we're going to go with tap water. Let's spray this on. Let's get this going. So we're going to wet all this out and I'm going to use it. I'm going to get it everywhere. I'm going to get it in there. It has a sort of feel to it. If this dries on your hand, it sort of stiffens up, thickens up if it dries on your fingers. When I was dosing it out and I got some on my fingertips. It's an unusual quality, that is. So let's just make sure you can see that. Just really want to flood it. Maybe even if I'm using more than I should. It's got a lovely smell. Smells good. So what I'm going to do is allow this to dry, okay, which is really interesting. I think it is probably, just looking at it, probably going to need a pressure wash. So what I'll do is give this, well, over 5 minutes, and when it's dry, I'll come back and we'll rinse off, and then we'll contact wash. I'll have a think about whether maybe I should pressure wash off. But either way, I'm going to have to clean this wheel with contact. There's no way you can contact clean this, even if you took the most nasty acid and put it on there. You're going to have to contact this. There's nothing will do that. So I'm just interested as well, while it sits there on that dirt film, what's going on with the chemistry, you know, with the chemistry of the product. So you'd assume that at the moment this chemical is trying to work into this dirt film. Oh, that's interesting. And penetrate it. Yeah, just poking it with my finger. It's giving me a little idea. It's quite interesting, isn't it? We're doing something to it. Look at that. I want to capture this on camera. It's supposed to encapsulate the dirt. Interesting. Man, that seems to be releasing it quite well. So it's not all running off of the surface and pulling all of the dirt down. Like if you flooded this with thick foam, you see all that whiteness and then you see it start all sliding down. I put quite a lot of chemical on, but it seems to be sort of like holding in that dirt film, which is really interesting. There is a sort of viscosity to this product. So it's not going all over the floor, although there's some overspray down there. But you can see it's not all flying off of the surface. But I'm interested in like, I'm interested in that. When I pull it, it's like the edge seems clean. You see around the edge of where I just pull my finger over it. See that? It's weird. And it's like the dirt goes down the middle of the channel. Well, look at that. I don't know if that's just nothing or something. I want to see if I can see anything going on. Just use a dry finger over here. Yeah, I mean that is. Some of it's coming off. I'm not pushing hell for leather, but interesting. Interesting. Let's just go back and poke this a little bit more. Seems to be having a good effect. Something very strange going on with that. So I'll come back when it's bone dry. What's going on up here? Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. I was thinking I've busted out the pressure washer. I'm going to absolutely get soaked, but yeah, I think giving it a blast down will be better than just trying to free rinse this off. Really interesting. So this is dried, so dry iron is engaged. I wanted to see what happens to that dirt slurry. That dirt slurry it's stiffened up and it's now not coming off like it was when it was all wet in wet mode. So in wet mode, I could put my finger over it and it was kind of pulling all the dirt back. So now it's dried, that film has solidified again. So obviously we've got to re-wet it and pressure wash it. Interesting to see what happens here. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking there's no way this is going to all blast off. So it's how clean it's going to get it. And what do I have to do after this to use it as a wheel cleaner? Do you use it as a wheel cleaner just doing this? So you spray it on, it engages dry mode, you blast it off. That's it, because the instructions don't tell you about going again with it and then scrubbing out your wheels. But that's what I'm going to do after this, but I don't know the answer to that question. Yeah, so let's just get on with this. So yeah, I'm going to get soaked, man. I'm going to get soaked. I'm going to get absolutely soaked. Here we go. I've got it on the tyres as well. It's interesting to see what it can do with the tyres. Let's get it in there. Let's go across the middle of it. Let's go in there as well. Let's get it in there. You can see now, I haven't blasted that bit, but as soon as you re-wet it, it does all loosen it back up again. Let's go again. Oh, it's going to get wet. It's doing pretty good. Not getting it all off though, especially in here. Right, let's go round this alloy. Can't get the camera in. Oh Jesus! Get a bit closer. Ah! Oh. I mean, it's doing good. Get in there. Well, it's just enough blasting because my feet are soaking, yeah? So it seems to be shifting dirt reasonably well, but this is effectively a contactless clean We need contact, and I can feel just by poking it with my finger there's more that's going to come off here. So we're learning stuff about the product though, guys, because there's like, remember that Poor Boy's acid? Me and Martin were using that a few months ago, that you spray on, you just rinse it off, and it's a strong acid. It's designed for contactless cleaning. That, in my opinion, would have cleared more dirt off than Phat Neut has done there. But for what is essentially a pH neutral rinseless, it seems to be having a good effect. Now let's grab this product again. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in and contact clean these alloys, because you have to. So, but we've learned that Phat Neut is not going to contactlessly clean a really filthy alloy. I'd also suggest that Bilt Hamber Auto wheels, this is a bit of a, I don't know, but I would suggest that if I'd have sprayed that in auto wheels and let it all go dark purple and pressure rinsed off, that it would have got a little bit more off than Phat Neut. Don't know, that's what I think. So I'm just going to re-soak the dirt film. Get the tyre as well. So I'm using a lot of product. Probably way more than I need to, but I'm just, you know, I don't know if it's one of these less is more or more is more or something's more or more is less. Let's go in and clean this with the brush. Yeah, so that contact in there, you can see that, just that little scrubby with the EZ brush does seem to be getting most of it off. Right down there, there's some that is sort of stuck on. You might need an acid to get off. Who knows? Let's get in there. It's really weird not having any foam as well. Really strange feeling. Really strange. Yeah, I mean, this is doing well, because this brush as well is not as aggressive as like the little stubby brush. And normally I'd use a stubby on all those, you know, I'd use a stubby on all of these stubborn bits, because that's where it builds up. And, you know, if you don't use a stubby, normally these bits don't get clean. But I tell you what, it's definitely got some cleaning power, this. Much more than like using a normal car soap. But it's still early days yet, so my little brain is still contemplating this product. There are of course things going on that this pH neutral rinseless is not going to be. We're just looking at wheel cleaning, which is a bit of an oddball, because wheel cleaning is a heavy duty thing of heavy cleaning, and you'll always need acids and stuff like that, you know, if you're doing this, because they get neglected like these wheels. So we can see in there the barrels are better. I mean, they're pretty good actually. I mean, that is pretty surprising. I haven't rinsed that yet either. I don't want to scrub too much. I just want to see what it would be like, you know, with a normal kind of half-decent effort at cleaning these. Getting in there with these brushes. Just make sure I do these bits under here. Get all these bits, because those are the bits that you think you've done, but if you're not eyeballing them when you do it, you're not going to clean them. So let's just give this the attention that it deserves. I'll tell you what, this is cleaning them. It is cleaning them. These are going to come back pretty clean. I've treated this one as well, and this one you can see is just starting to go into dry on mode. But you can see how dirty these are. Normally I wouldn't have even attempted to have cleaned. I wouldn't have even attempted to clean these with a pH neutral rinseless wash before. I just looked at them and said, no, these actually might even need an acid, or they definitely would need a fallout remover, or a strong caustic alkaline cleaner, or an acid. So this is a real test to the product. Really unusual. It feels like a bit like the experience of when you're using an acid which doesn't foam. but without all the smoke and the, you know, without it stinging your skin. This product is supposed to be, it has no hazard warnings, so it doesn't use anything that seems to be require a hazard label, which is interesting. So it also seems like a kind of safe product for you, I think. I don't know, you know, I don't know, but all that hazard stuff is there to cater for that. So what it is, I don't know, but Bilt Hamber are good with using all these materials, I think, that are environmentally friendly and kind of safe. That's part of their thing, I think. I'll tell you what though, I'm reasonably surprised. Let's just do this one. I'm reasonably surprised. Let's just blast this off. Let's give this, just give this Tyre a scrub with the Rinseless as well. Oh, it's just water in this bucket. Just get some on there. This is going to be weird because there's not going to be any. There's not going to be any foaming, so let's just bring you in, show you what that looks like. It's not a tyre cleaner. It's not. It doesn't actually say you should use it on tyres, but why not? Just give these a little scrub. Why not? I don't know if that's a little bit of residual foam on my brush from using it before, but there's or something on the tyre, but there's a tiny little bit of foaming going on there. I think that's a bit of chemical in my brush. Right. Just blast this all off then, so it's all nice and wet. I'm going to get soaked again. Here we go. I'll tell you what. So that isn't 100% clean. This, maybe I could just scrub a little bit more. Because the brush, you've got to get right down here to do this. So that probably didn't do the best job there. The reason I'm doing this again is that as I touch it, that dirt's coming off. So I don't think I think I was doing that, not this. So let's just try and make sure we've actually scrubbed all those bits. That's better. There's probably some bits I've missed in here as well. You always miss a bit if you're sitting at one angle doing a wheel. Yeah, sort of like spin it round. You know what? That's not a bad job for a pH neutral product. It's not a bad job. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's not a miracle, but it's not a bad job. Has it surpassed my expectations? Yes, I didn't think it would get it that clean. Doesn't seem to have caused any flash corrosion on the brake discs, which is another thing with Bilt Hamber products. They're all like, you know, rust inhibitors and, you know, all that sort of stuff. I don't know if this has got rust inhibitors in it, but it doesn't seem to be triggering any corrosion on the brake discs. It'd be nice if it did inhibit that. Cleaning, I would say that's done like a 7 or 8 out of 10. And I would say auto wheels would have got that a 9 out of 10. It'd have got it a little bit. There's just some low level bits that it hasn't got. You know, that's all. I don't even think auto wheels would get rid of that. I don't even think that's embedded fallout. I think that's more like tar film. And an acid would be the only thing that would get these 10 out of 10. There's still some dirt left there, that brown stuff. Let's see if that is fallout actually. If that's embedded fallout film, I think it probably is. I don't know. Just leave that on there for a second. So I think it's done like about a 7 out of 10 job on that. Yeah, fallout remover could do an 8 or 9, acid to get the full 10. The barrel is, where's that torch? Hold on, let's get the torch. The barrel's definitely not 100% clean, but again, to get that barrel 100% clean, well, I don't know, that's not bad. that ain't bad, but to get all that ingrained stuff off, wheel would have to come off, and you'd have to hit that with acid. That's done a better job than I'd have thought this could do. So, yeah, you can still see there's little bits of dirt catched on the edge and around the in the corners and stuff in there, like right there. That doesn't want to shift at all. It's not fallout. Yeah, that would have lit up by now. It's going to light up in places. There's some fallout in it, but I don't. Well, actually, no, it probably is. Yeah, it seems to be lifting as that reacts. That's probably some sort of embedded fallout and tar type film. So there you go, guys. You can see the brake disc properly as well. There's a tiny bit of yellowing occurring on the brake disc. Oh, that might be because I've just sprayed some fallout remover around, I don't know. But they haven't lit up like a Christmas tree. They're not the best brake discs, but we can see from over here where that's all been sprayed in there. They haven't lit up or anything like that. So there we go. That's a first look at Phat Neut as a wheel cleaner. By overall wheel cleaning standards, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. By rinseless wheel cleaning standards, I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10. There's no other rinseless that would do that. It can't do everything. It's not a miracle product. It can't attack fallout like a fallout remover will. That is fallout. That is fallout. So it's starting to light up now. So you can see all that embedded fallout is now getting dislodged. You see that? So different chemicals unlock different types of contamination. So fallout is good for embedded fallout. You know, hydrocarbons, tar and glue, solvents are good for bitumen films. Acids are good for solid particle, aggressive shrinking, but it can damage finishes because it's breaking down the material, the solid material in clear coat as well. So you don't want to use acids all the time, but sometimes acids are the most effective. Detergents typically, and surfactants work through emulsifying, which can be good. So Surfex HD is an emulsifier, you know, like a surfactant emulsifier that breaks down or makes the resin, you know, the brake dust resin, makes it soluble to water. Anything makes it more water soluble, and that's quite a powerful form. But sometimes when I'm prepping an alloy wheel, like to put a coating on, those were all dirty. You have to go through all these different phases with different chemicals. So I used Surfex, I'll use TARDIS, I'll use Corosol, and I'll have the acid there as well. And those different chemicals can be handy for unlocking the wheels. That is just, when you're prepping an alloy wheel, you need all those different chemicals to get that back to a condition where it's worth coating them. You also sometimes need to clay, because even after all those chemical processes, you haven't got it all off and the barrel still feels rough. This is one of the hardest parts of a car to get really squeaky clean, and you heard me say it before. You want to coat them when they're in the really tip-top condition, and one of the worst jobs you can ever get to do on a car is to coat alloy wheels that are, you know, even 4 or 5 years old and are all covered in horrible stuff, because that is time consuming. Okay, back to this. I've given you my summary of it. It's impressive for its genre. It's impressive for its genre. There's a lot more to explore. The dry cleaning is interesting, the dry on phase. There does seem to be quite a good cleaning power to this. And you can notice it when it goes on wet. You can see that cleaning power quite rapidly. Yeah, it's pretty impressive, man. I think I'm interested to hear other people's opinions on it as well. And this is just my first look, but I think we might have a cleaning monster. This might be raising the bar in terms of how much cleaning power you can get out of a contact rinseless wash. This product is also primarily designed really to be dealing with this. It's designed to be dealing with this sort of stuff and encapsulating it and lifting it as you kind of drag over the surface. It's not really designed, or it can't really be designed for this and this. It can be kind of designed for this and maybe usable for light cleaning on this, I think. You know what I mean? For regular cleaning, it might be good. Yeah, thinking out loud. Let me know your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna clean this wheel off that I've already put it on, and then I'm gonna clean a wheel over there with Surfex HD. And I think Surfex HD, you know, on that side will give me similar results where there's still bits of low level. And then I'm going to clean that back one with fallout remover. And it's just going to reinforce what I already know, that you will need to use other chemicals on very dirty wheels. But this is impressive for what it is. Okay, I'm repeating myself. Take care. Adios.